track.
This is JD's Free Smoke Podcast, and we here for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Let's jump for joy. Let's be happy. We back. We're staying consistent. And, you know what I mean? There wasn't a lot of news this week, but I'm going to try to spice up the little bit we got. Like, you know what I mean? You know me. I always got a little something cooking in the pot. You know what I mean? So, sit back, relax, or at work, you know what I mean? Do whatever you need to do. And let's jump in to the next episode, baby. Alrighty then. So, welcome back to JD's Free Smoke Podcast. I really appreciate you guys coming back, giving me a listen, seeing what's going on, and let's jump into it. So, first story is I believe Oscar De La Hoya has fallen off the wagon again. You know what I mean? Oscar De La Hoya might be back on the drugs, baby. What? It's like, yo, bro, that's harsh, man. That's harsh. Why would you say that about Oscar, man? Don't talk to Oscar like that. Leave Oscar alone. Nah, man, I gotta say this because Oscar's talking about that he wants Earl Spence Jr. to fight Canelo Alvarez. And like that's just crazy. Because he goes like, he's like, oh, like Mikey Garcia. You know Mikey Garcia. He's too small. Well, so was Earl Spence compared to Canelo, bro. Like, Canelo's about to fight for the 160-pound middleweight championship with freaking Gennady Golovkin. So if Mikey Garcia is too small, Earl Spence is too small. So you just sound crazy right now. Talking about this, like, you know what I mean? Like you got some good stuff, like you know what I mean? Like, we gotta be like this.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Damn, man, some dank weed and some dank memes. So, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that's just crazy. But you know, that's Oscar De La Hoya. You know what I mean? Super successful boxer, super successful promoter. But, you know, hey, like, you know, he's having some crazy ideas. You know what I mean? I think you should stay focused on King Ryan. And, you know what I mean? And big him up. Maybe King Ryan one day could get a fight with Earl Spence Jr., right? But, like, you know what I mean? This Earl Spence Canelo stuff, a little crazy. But, in other news involving Canelo Alvarez, Gennady Golovkin had some sort of press conference or something like that. A little small press conference. I don't know what he was doing, but either way, basically wasting everybody's time. What do you mean by that? You know what I mean? Aren't you being kind of harsh? You know what I mean? We love Golovkin. We love him. Like, you know, Golovkin can do no wrong. Yeah, he can. He's crying like a little baby because he came on some press conference and he's all like, oh, like Canelo Alvarez, he's dirty. He's the dirtiest fighter ever. Like, you know what I mean? All he did was take drugs and eat Mexican tacos and blame his drug test results on the Mexican tacos. And I say, you know what? No. you're disgusting, you're dirty, and I can't wait to beat you up. And you know what? To me, I'm just like, you know what, buddy? Like, you know, that's just sad. Get out of here with that trash. You're trash for that because, basically, if you felt that way, why are you fighting him? Oh, I know why you're fighting him. Because he's gonna get you a paycheck. So like what are we talking about? If you were that real about this, you'd be fighting one of the Charlo brothers. You'd be fighting Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, who Billy Joe Saunders is fighting because you didn't fight him, and you would be fighting Billy Joe Saunders because he's been wanting to fight you. So at the end of the day, we hear you crying. You know what I mean? You need to just chill out, and just honestly, just kind of just shut up because you kind of sound like this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you sound like you're just talking foolishness out of your mouth. Like, you just gotta relax. You just gotta, fight this fight, get your paycheck. Like, you know what I mean? And hope that you don't get your ass beat, in the fight. Like, you know what I mean? Did not appreciate that. In other news involving Canelo, freaking Abel Sanchez is like, you know, calling Canelo a chicken, saying that I hope this time he fights. You know what I mean? That Mexican style, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because that's what we're about. And this is ridiculous. So basically, Abel Sanchez is going at Canelo and saying,
look at all those chickens.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just call him a big chicken or whatever that is and saying that he ran in the last fight and all this stuff. And that's just foolishness because, first of all, this Mexican style stuff is a fraud. Okay? And what I mean by this? Well, Mr. Golovkin fought on Cinco de Mayo weekend. And he didn't even fight a Mexican. So they had a card on Cinco de Mayo weekend. They named it Mexican style. Ain't no Mexican on the card. What's up with that? Like, you know what I mean? That's just crazy to me. So, like, you know what I mean? And then on top of that, like, you know what I mean? He's like, oh yeah, like Golovkin's always coming forward and stuff like that. That's complete BS. When Golovkin fought David Lemieux, he wasn't fighting no Mexican style. He was jabbing, boxing, moving. Like, you know what I mean? And like just stand in front of you and fight stuff, whatever that's not Mexican style. There's been plenty of Mexican boxers that were high action, high octane, and did not stand in front of you. And stuff like that. What is quintessential to be Mexican is that you don't give up. You don't quit. Not quitting is Mexican style. But standing in front of people and putting yourself in harm's way to get beat up is not Mexican style. You need to chill out and you need a thing. And Canelo Alvarez has had the best response to this whole thing. Check out this response. It's golden. Hold up.
I can't argue with you. No. You mad. Look at you. You mad. You big mad.
Yeah. You mad, bro? You mad? You big mad? Canelo is just been, you know what I mean? Just been relaxing, doing his thing, realizing that Golovkin's mad. He's mad that he's not a big star or something like that. I don't know what it is. He's big mad. He got to get over it. Canelo's been handling, you know, this stuff quite well. You know what I mean? I can't wait for the fight. September 15th, Mexico Independence Weekend. Let's do this, guys. Let's do this. Now, in other news, other interesting boxing news, Bob Arum is flying to the Philippines to talk to Manny Pacquiao about the future. Whoa. Manny's like, you want to talk to me?
Yeah.
Yo, like, you know what I mean? Like, don't you guys find that crazy? So Manny Pacquiao's been enjoying his time as a free agent, no promotional entity, whatever like that. But Barbera loves him some money. You know what I mean? And I guess, I don't know, he wants to take advantage of Manny Pacquiao again. But the thing is if Manny Pacquiao does get back into a deal with Barbera, if the deal is good and he could potentially make more than he would by himself, hey, go for it. But it has to be, a good deal. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to be reading about the deal after and then, like, Barbera's behind the scenes all like,
Gotcha, bitch.
like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like the whole thing with, like, Manny Pacquiao owing taxes and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? That was a whole mess. I don't want Manny getting involved in something like this. Like, he can't really be getting involved in stuff like that now. Like, he's 39 years old. He's at the tail end of his career. Probably just wants a few key fights and then, get out of the game clean, hopefully, right? So, shout out to Manny Pacquiao. Hopefully, you know what I mean, he gets a good deal with Barbera, right? Because Barbera's going to be, coming up to him and be like, Manny, like, you need to, make a deal with old Uncle Bobby. Like, you sign with me. You'll make more money with me than with you. And then, like, you know what I mean? Who would you sign to if you did sign? You know what I mean? Oscar De La Hoya. You don't want to sign with Oscar De La Hoya. You beat Oscar De La Hoya. And Floyd Mayweather. You don't even like Floyd Mayweather. F the Mayweathers. Like, you know what I mean? Come back to good old Uncle Bobby and make me some money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, hopefully, he doesn't just listen to some old boxing Barbera pitch and, comes to the senses and, does the right thing. Now, in big news. Yes. Yes. In big news. Freaking Keith one-time Thurman is slated to return to the ring in October, possibly on a Earl Spence and Mikey Garcia undercard. Now, if you can't tell, I'm a huge Keith one-time Thurman fan. I'm happy to hear this. He's been out of the ring forever due to injuries and all other things. So, to see him come back into the ring and to see him come back to the ring on a Mikey Garcia Earl Spence undercard would be absolutely amazing. I'm here for it. You know what I mean? It'll be great for Keith to get a nice tune-up before he, before they try to set him up to fight somebody more real or whatever it is. And then maybe, hopefully, if everything's straight, whatever like that, we could get either a Keith Thurman, Terence Crawford fight, a Keith Thurman, Earl Spence Jr. fight, or a Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, or Danny Garcia rematch. All those are amazing possibilities. Shout outs to Keith one-time Thurman. You know what I mean? Let's go. Now, in other boxing news. Terence Crawford. Terence who? Terence Bud Crawford. That's right. Terence Bud Crawford wants all the Garcia smoke. He wants all of it. And man, like it's kind of crazy because, you know what I mean, like he's coming at Danny Garcia with energy that's
It's over 9,000!
his energy is crazy right now. He's calling Danny Garcia out, saying like, look man, I did what you never did. I unified the belts at 140. You know what I mean? I came up to 147, fought a champion right away, knocked him out, did all this stuff. Danny Garcia is clapping back, saying that, look man, you didn't fight the guys that I fought at 140. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I fought Lucas Matisse when everybody's saying when he was a killer. You know what I mean? Lucas Matisse was a killer. And me, Danny Garcia, from Philly. Where you at? From Philly.
Bless up.
Bless up. You know what I mean? I'm from Philly. And I fought Lucas Matisse when everybody said he was a killer. You know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? Both of them, they fought in the amateurs. I believe each has won one fight apiece. But Terence Crawford said that he won the last one, so he has the upper hand on Danny and stuff like that. But remember, though, when you get into it with Danny, you are getting into it with Angel Garcia as well. And, you know what I mean? We all know that Angel Garcia is a mouthpiece, man. Angel Garcia can make you with the burns, man. Angel Garcia knows how to get into it, man. He's got the gift of gab. So, you know what I mean? I hope, Terence Crawford is ready for that. He's ready for that smoke. But also at the same time, we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves because Danny Garcia still got to beat Showtime Sean Porter on September the 8th. So all this talk is, pretty much useless if you can't get past Sean Porter. And, so cool stuff. Glad that people want smoke, but, you know what I mean? It's all for naught if, he doesn't beat Sean Porter. Now, in other news, Eddie Hearn's been getting smoke. Eddie Hearn's been getting crazy smoke. Right? What do you mean by that? Well, Tyson Fury's been bunning him up. Right? Check out this.
What are you thinking? Isn't it marvellous that the world's biggest fight, Fury versus Wilder, is going to happen? And that smug little tosser Eddie Hearn has nothing to do with it at all. It has nothing to do with the world's biggest fight or his little puppet on a string, the fighter he's got. They're not involved in the biggest fight the world has ever seen between the two biggest heavyweights on the planet. The two most controversial, most outspoken heavyweights out there. Both over 6'6". Both talkers, one Brit, one American. Isn't it marvellous that this fight's going to happen? And little Eddie ain't got nothing to do with it.
Oh, wow. The only thing that the people need is to hear a little... Ooh, shots were fired, bro. Shout out to Tyson Fury, man. You know what I mean? We know why we're going at Eddie Hearn here. Because Eddie Hearn's been massively criticized for not making this Joshua Wilder fight happen. And so Wilder pulled a big chess move in getting his notoriety up, because if he fights Tyson Fury and if he beats Tyson Fury, not only is this fight gonna sell really well, it's gonna sell a lot. Or I'm gonna buy it on pay-per-view. This fight is, you know what I mean, if he beats Tyson Fury, it's gonna bring his notoriety up in the UK way up. And that piddly little $15 million flat fee offer that Eddie Hearn offered Deontay Wilder to fight in front of not 90,000 fans at Wembley Stadium, not the Carl Frosch 80,000 fans at Wembley Stadium. We talking a record 110,000 fans at Wembley Stadium.
Damn, son. Damn, son. Where'd you find this?
Woo! Yeah, man. In April, you know what I mean, when Wilder hopefully fights Joshua or Tyson Fury, we don't know, right? It's supposed to be hopefully in front of a record 110,000 fans. What great news for boxing. What great news for Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Now, this fight's going to be big between Wilder and Tyson. They're both talkers. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Wilder's going to be like, oh, man. Like, you know what I mean? Tyson Fury doesn't know the fury I'm going to release on him. The pain. You know what I mean? The fury. He's not going to know what hit him. Right? And, you know, Tyson's just going to come out and, you know what I mean, in a Batman suit and saying, you're going to say, I'm sorry, Wilder, but you're old. You're a bum. You know what I mean? I'm faster than you. I'm slicker than you. I'm going to outbox you. I'm going to do everything. And you're a bum. Right? And it's going to be great. Batman calling Wilder a bum who is actually Tyson Fury. And, like, you know what I mean? That's just amazing. I can't wait. These guys are both great. Eddie Hearn's getting roasted. You know what I mean? I don't know what Eddie Hearn's going to be able to do about that. But whatever. That's his problem. Figure it out. You know what I mean? And, you know, less controversial Eddie Hearn news. He's trying to make Kelly Brooks versus Amir Khan at 147. That's somewhat good news. I don't believe that fight's gonna happen this year though. Amir Khan's fighting our local Canadian fighter from the GTA, Samuel Vargas. Yes, that's right. Samuel Vargas from the GTA is fighting Amir Khan over in England on September the 8th. And, you know, Kelly Brooks, he was supposed to fight our local man, Brandon Cook. But, you know, some things happened. Kelly Brooks got crossed up. And he broke his ankle on the court, man. Got his ankles broke on the court after he got crossed up, man. Hard. So, like, you know what I mean, with recovery, him probably needing maybe a tune-up after that or whatever that is. Like, you know what I mean, I don't see this fight happening in, you know, December as they keep trying to tout it's happening. But, you know what I mean, if Eddie Hearn makes that happen, that's a big fight for Eddie. You know what I mean, as much as people are criticizing Eddie, as much as Tyson Fury is roasting him up, Eddie Hearn is probably the best premier boxing promoter out right now. In terms of who's putting on the best fights, it's Eddie Hearn. Who's got the most buzz right now? It is Eddie Hearn. And you know, who's got the most backing? It's Eddie Hearn. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, as much as Eddie Hearn's getting roasted, you know what I mean, he's making stuff happen in the sport. And then last but not least, going back to my man, Brandon Cook, the local guy from Ontario, Canada, Canada, is fighting on the GGG Canelo 2 undercard. He's fighting Jamie Munguia for the 154-pound WBO strap, which means on September the 15th, Ontario, Canada, I believe he's from Ajax, will have a world champion. It's a big deal. So, shout out to Brandon Cook. Train hard. You know what I mean? Be ready for that Munguia smoke. Okay, Jamie Munguia is 30-0 with 25 knockouts, guys. Be ready for that smoke and get the strap. You know what I mean? Bring it home. Get the strap. So, you know what I mean? But that's it for boxing. For this week, wasn't too much boxing. You know what I mean? Just take a moment to relax. We're going to be getting into what I found interesting this week. Yes. It's the Free Smoke Podcast. And, you know what I mean? We're going into stuff that I found interesting this week. Man, this is what we do weekly. And starting off on a lighter note, Nicki Minaj, she released her Queen album this week on Friday, actually. And it's good stuff, man. So any of you guys got Apple Music, Spotify, is there another streaming service out there? Ain't gonna be on SoundCloud. Only gonna be a few songs on YouTube, whatever that is. So yeah, if you guys got Spotify or Apple Music or Tidal, you know what I mean? The raw Tidal, like, you know what I mean? So if any of you guys got any of that stuff, give it a listen to. I thought it was a good album. Like, you know what I mean? You know, everyone's talking about the quote unquote tea that was spilled on Barbie Dreams. You know what I mean? There was some tea, man. There was some, and it was pretty hot. It was, you know what I mean, piping hot. So check it out, man. You know, congratulations to her on her release of Queen, and congratulations on it being number 1 in 81 countries. Big ups to Nicki Minaj, man. Keep bringing us the hits, man. We enjoying them. Next up, in the lighter news, Premier Doug Ford has plans to make beer a buck of beer. Is one of the bigger stories this week in local Canadian politics there. Like, you know what I mean? I'm from the CANADA, and you know, gotta talk a little bit of local stuff that matters to us. And apparently a buck of beer matters to Ontarians. Is one of the promises that he campaigned on. So for those of you that don't know, Ontario had a regulation that beer had to have been a minimum of $1.25 to be sold in stores. So that's why like a 24 pack would cost like $28 or whatever that is, because the minimum you can sell beer for is $1.25. Like, you know what I mean? So this is good news, I guess, for beer drinkers. If the manufacturers actually take Doug Ford up on that, because he's not forcing the manufacturers to sell the beer for a buck of beer. He's trying to incentivize them to do it. If they can make a profit doing it for a buck, that's good news. Hopefully they can, and they could offer that to the customers that want that. And on top of that, I think it'll be a great opportunity for maybe something like a 6-pack of beer or something like that, right? You got a 6-pack of beer, $6, right? And it's like a new flavor or something like that, right? Hey man, buck of beer works. I don't drink beer, but shout out to everybody that drinks it. So, you know what I mean? Doug Ford, keeping up with the promises. Shout out to him. Now, in more serious Toronto news. Guess what? We had some flooding in Toronto, in the city of Toronto. And then the crazy thing is, we didn't even get that much rain. It's been a crazy experience, and you know, John Tory, you know what I mean? You got some work to do in this damn city, man. Because like, yeah, we got a lot of rain, but it didn't get that much for, like, I'm telling, water was up to people's knees. Cars were like driving in like rivers. Bridge and underpasses became like lakes and pools. Like, it was nuts. And on top of that, 2 guys almost died in an elevator. What do you mean 2 guys almost died? What happened? Well, here, let me explain the story a little bit. So, you know, there was a big condo, whatever it was. They sent a message to 2 of the tenants that lived there saying, hey, there's a lot of flooding happening in the basements. Why don't you guys head downstairs and drive your cars out of there or whatever like that, so, you know, hopefully they don't get ruined and stuff like that. And so these guys, they went downstairs into the basement, and they took the elevator. And once they took the elevator, they got down to the basement floor, right? And as soon as the elevator reached the floor, water just started gushing into the elevator, right? At first, the guys were just like, yeah, you know, this is kind of annoying, whatever like that, and you know, the water's gonna stop eventually, right? It did not stop. It kept going. You know what I mean? And then it got bad. It got really bad, because then they realized, like, holy crap, wait a minute. Water is filling this elevator and we're just in like this trap box. What the heck? Right? So one of the guys goes to pick up the phone, the emergency line. But by the time he connects to the person on the other side and starts talking, the speaker in the elevator was flooded, so he was screwed. They were screwed there. Couldn't get in contact with anybody, and their cell phone wasn't getting any service because they're in the basement. So what they decided to do was try to calm down. You know what I mean? One of the guys said a prayer. You know what I mean? Said a nice little prayer. Say, hey man, big man upstairs, I need your help. Calm down. And then they proceeded to go and knock on the roof of the elevator and try to see if they can get anybody's attention. Well, as it just so happened, there was a couple of police officers there. And they were able to help these guys out, get emergency services in, and save these guys. So shout out to those 2 police officers. You know what I mean? This is great. This is what police officers need to do. Save lives, not harass people and do all this stuff. So shout out to these 2 police officers that saved these guys' lives, whatever like that. They're able to get emergency help, pry the elevators open, cut open it into the roof, and get these guys out of the elevator. And then on the next part of that too, guess what? when they did get him out, there was only about maybe like a foot, 2 feet of like free open space to breathe left. So if those police officers never acted when they did, those guys would have certainly drowned in that elevator. So I'm glad that they're able to go home and do their thing and live to see another day. And my takeaway from this, not only am I thankful that these guys came alive, but here's my next takeaway. The city of Toronto has definitely been mismanaged and not ran properly. Obviously, like, that much rain should not have did that to Toronto. It was a lot of rain, but it wasn't that much rain. Like, for the kind of flooding that we saw there, that's crazy. Which makes me have to side with Doug Ford on the whole cutting the counselors down to 25. Because at 47, what are you guys doing? They're building up all like these condos. The roads aren't being built properly. There's no like proper Gardner Expressway, all this stuff. It's trash. It's all trash. That like, you know what I mean? The planning of the city is just not, it's not up to par. Right? Our systems couldn't handle like that much rain, to that like the rain effed us up like that. Flooded basements, flooded streets, pool, like it's crazy, right? And we have like 47, 48 councillors in Toronto, whatever that is, right? And Doug Ford, thank God, wants to reduce it back down to 25. Because you want to know what you guys are doing? You guys are going, sitting down at your desk every day, unzipping your pants and rubbing one out. Ooh, rubbing one out, baby. You know what I mean? And if you're not doing that, you might as well be, because nothing's happening, man. And you know what I mean? And if Doug's gonna fire you clowns and save us some money, please do it. Please. Because we need to get these guys out of office, because they ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? Your time's up. Time's up, man. Now, in other news, other interesting news, Alex Jones has been fired. No, not fired. Banned from YouTube, iTunes, Facebook, everything. Now, this has brought up some free speech concerns, which admittedly, as much as I don't like Alex Jones that much, he's entertaining as hell. I must admit, he can be quite entertaining. But he's wrong on a lot of things, and he's been a lot more wrong on things lately, for sure. And you know, I mean, when it comes to racial stuff, you definitely don't know what the heck he's talking about, or he's on the wrong side of history. So, you know what I mean? It's interesting, but to ban this guy like the way they did is a little bit alarming. And I don't know if it should have went down like that, because it is still a free speech issue, and the issue is, if you know what I mean, if you're gonna get a guy like Alex Jones out of here, and of course they got him out of here. Ultimately, what got him took down was he said some disparaging things about Sandy Hook, about how it was a hoax and stuff like that. And, you know, he has apologized for that and whatever that is. But at the end of the day, he did say some pretty disparaging things when it comes to kids and dying. That is bad. But to ban him off all the platforms like that unilaterally is a little bit crazy. And the problem is if you could do it to Alex, you could do it to me. So I think, you know what I mean, people should just not listen to him, in my opinion, because now he's blown up even more. You know what I mean? That's the Barbara Streisand effect. When you try to get rid of something, he blows up even more. So, you know what I mean? He's blown up quite a bit, and you know what I mean? And yeah, he's even more popular than before. And we'll see what happens. Maybe he gets back on the platform, maybe not. But you know what I mean? Like I said, much as I disagree with him on, you know, things about race and definitely like a couple other things, he is right about a few things, though. He is right, and when he's right, he knocks it out of the park. I gotta admit that. You know what I mean? I will miss stuff like this.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the freaking frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the freaking frogs gay. Shit, crap gay. Frogs, freaking frogs. It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Gay frogs. Won't you fight for your life?
So yeah, everybody's gay frogs are gonna be real upset now that Alex Jones ain't on the internet no more. All right, yeah. So you know what I mean? That's Alex Jones. Like I said, a crazy guilty pleasure of mine sometimes. Even though he's so wrong on so many things a lot of times, but sometimes he's so right. And you know, like I said, it's a dangerous precedent to start banning people though, like that, whatever that is, because it can be a thing where it's like, oh, you know, if you say something we don't like, you know, we're gonna get you the F out of here. Now, in some more turned up news, some more serious news, let's get into this.
Fuck you, 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 oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Yes, F you. F you. Well, why are we saying that today? Well, when people deserve the smoke, they're gonna get it. So, a Japanese medical school, the Tokyo Medical University, to be particular, has been caught manipulating the entrance exams of female applicants to make sure that they can't get into school. So they've been like reducing the grades of female applicants on purpose by about, I believe it's 10%. 10, I heard as high as 20 for some applicants to ensure that they don't get into school. That is fuckery. Straight fuckery. Okay? This is legitimate sexism. Right? This ain't no 77 cents to $1 BS. This is real quantifiable results. And I gotta say, we gotta get Tokyo Medical University the fuck out of here. Right? Because here's the ultimate thing. And the reason why I don't agree with shit like this, right? Is because how are you going to ensure that you have the best people working on people, giving people medical advice, or, God forbid, operating on people if they can't even pass these exams? And actually, one of the person that got snuck in was the son of the education minister there, and his son failed the test like 3 times, whatever like that. And on the 4th time, he's all of a sudden he's getting in. Man, fuck you, man. And I don't want your punk ass son giving me any medical advice. Okay? Or operate on me, for sure. Man, I might as well just die. I might as well just start clutching my chest now. Because it's done. It's done. Your son walks in, it's done. I'm dead. I'm dead anyways. Right? So, like, you know what I mean? Now, university and stuff, they made some excuses. Of course, for doing this thing where they're lowering the grades, they're getting funding from the education minister, extra funding and stuff like that. And the reason why they say they wanted to do this is because, you know, of course, women have babies and stuff, and they didn't want women to stop being a doctor or whatever it is, because they wanted to do more of a family life or not be able to work as much because, you know, I don't know if you guys know this, but Japan is a very different society. They only take one day off, I believe. I believe they work from Monday to Saturday and only getting the Sunday off, period. That's like they're guaranteed. So they want people to just be able to work, right? And, you know, obviously men, you know what I mean? Because we don't, you know, grow a baby in us for 9 months, and then of course we don't go on fraternity leave as much and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like we're usually able to kind of work a little bit more, but either way, it's bullshit. Because A, you don't know if women are going to decide to have babies like that, wherever that is. And, you know, even if they did, whatever, if they're the best at what they do, they're the best, right? You know what I mean? If certain women go on fraternity leave, have other doctors fill in. You know what I mean? There should be more doctors. If more qualified people are coming in, then who cares? Like, you know what I mean? Who cares? Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So fuck you guys at the Tokyo Medical University. This is bullshit. You know what I mean? If these women earn their way to get into to medical university, they deserve to be there. You know what I mean? Congrats on the Japanese government for investigating this. Congrats on the Japanese government for punishing everybody involved in this. Yes, people at the university and the education minister are being punished. And the Japanese government are now going to be investigating other universities to see if this practice is happening as well. So good on you guys. Congratulations to the Japanese women who are going to be able to fairly get into university now. And hopefully those women that got rejected can now get admitted, or something could be worked out for them as well. And now on our last story of this podcast. Justin Trudeau, Mr. Trudeau, says that he wants all the smoke. What do you mean? Trudeau says he wants all the smoke. And he's saying he wants to smoke with Saudi Arabia. Now, let me explain to you guys my position on this after I get into the story a little bit more. Hold on. And this is my position. People have to realize that Saudi Arabia is not a country. Oh, it's like, oh, what do you mean by that? It's not a country. Of course, you can see it on the map. It says Saudi Arabia. Yes, it does say Saudi Arabia, but it's not the country of Saudi Arabia. It's the kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Oh, okay, yes. I hear you. Yes, continue. Yes, Saudi Arabia is a kingdom. What I mean by that, it is a monarchy. It is a monarchy. So, that means whatever the royal family says, that's what goes. And because what goes on in Saudi Arabia is not heinous, it's hard to really go at them really hard in that way, because there's other people that are really bad in that way, but they do have some pretty egregious human rights violations. So what's been going on? So, allegedly, but I'm just gonna say that this is happening. There was a Saudi family that lived in Montreal that I guess went over to Saudi Arabia, and they protested some human rights violations. And they're just like, hey, it's Saudi Arabia. We're throwing you in jail. We're not letting you out. So, you know what I mean? Of course, they're being thrown in jail for their opinion. And, on Twitter, a couple of our education ministers and stuff said, hey, F you, Saudi, for, locking up these people. Like, let them out. It's a human rights violation. And Saudi Arabia was like, oh, okay, yeah? Oh, yeah? Well, how about this? We're going to take our 16,000 students that we have in your universities and stuff and remove them. All right, everybody's going out where what we say goes, right? And, they've cut off some business ties, cut off some business deals, put a lot of stuff on hold. And, here's how I see it. If Justin Trudeau is able to say, hey, look, this is a human rights thing. This is really bad. You shouldn't be doing this. And to ensure that we could stay on the course that we want to be, because we want to be right, we're going to start refining our own oil. I'm going to invest in the refineries finally that we need. You know what I mean? We're going to take none of your Saudi oil. We're not going to do any business with you whatsoever until you clean up your human rights violations. Look, man, I'll go as far as this to say if Justin Trudeau goes on that kind of thing, hey, man, I'll even vote for Justin Trudeau just for saying, hey, man, respect for standing up and then standing up and doing the right thing. But if you're not able to do something like that, you're just virtual signaling and just screwing up stuff for no reason. Okay? Screwing up stuff on Twitter, of all places, too. It's like, oh, so stupid. Like, who are you? Are you Trump? Are we Trump now? So, like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, Saudi Arabia does some really bad stuff, but at the end of the day, it's their country. They get to run it however they want to run it. And like I said, they're not doing anything crazy heinous. So at the end of the day, it's just like you know what I mean? Like, if the people there have a problem with whatever they're doing, they'll protest or they'll do whatever they need to do. Otherwise, it just is what it is. You know what I mean? I don't agree with Saudi Arabia on a plethora of things, but at the end of the day, it's their country, it's their monarchy, like, you know what I mean? And they got a ton of oil, so, and we rely on their oil too. On top of that, so, like, you know what I mean? Like I said, unless Justin Trudeau has a backup plan to get out of this or to stand on their own 2 feet properly and firmly, this is just BS virtual signaling. And if that's what you're doing, get the F out of office, Justin. Because we don't need clowns like this in office, right? And you know what I mean? And it's been tough taking this position because apparently USA and England aren't going to be backing us up on this either. So we're going to need to be able to convince them to back us up on this by standing our ground and by doing a couple of smart things to at least make sure that we can stand on our own ground. Because if you go do this, but you have to go grovel back to them for oil and stuff, it's not good luck. It's not good luck. So, you know what I mean? Hopefully, you know what I mean, we get this all figured out pretty soon. Hopefully those Saudi students that got pulled out of school, 16,000 of them, can get figured out, relocated. It's not September yet, so maybe we can work out a deal and hopefully maybe we can get them back or whatever it is. But either way, not the smartest way to go around or go about criticizing Saudi Arabia about human rights violations. Definitely. I can respect it. I can respect it if it's done right. If you're saying, hey, we're not taking on your oil, we're refining our own stuff, whatever it is, you could take that stuff and shove it, right? Until you fix up your human rights violations, right? You know what I mean? Allow women to live more normally. Not wild. It could still be a conservative society, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, you know, okay, like, you just allow them to drive, but like, what, are we supposed to give you a pat on the back for that? So nah, like, yeah, if you do some stuff, don't throw so many people in jail for their opinions and a whole bunch of stuff like that. You know what I mean? Allow people to get like a lawyer. You know what I mean? Presume innocence before guilty, stuff like that. You start doing stuff like that, then yeah, we might do business for you, but with you. But until then, nah. So you know what I mean? If Justin Trudeau wants to smoke and can handle it, you know what I mean? Great, you got my vote. If you're doing some freaking punk ass virtual signaling SJWBS, get the F out of here. Get the F out of office, okay? Because what you just did was completely unnecessary and stupid. So hopefully that's not what's going on here. But on that note, that's it for today. That's JD's Free Smoke Podcast. That's just what I think. Like, you know what I mean? It was a slow week today, but I was still able to iron something out for you guys. You know what I mean? Catch you guys next week. You guys all have a good one.